This video is to allow you to correct your homework, section 8.3.3. The problems are 885 through 890. So for 885, they want you to draw angles that approximate these measures. So you want to go through the process of drawing them, which would mean to put down your vertex point, to draw your rays, and then to measure them with your protractor to make sure that they are drawn accurately. So again, it's going to be hard for me to check unless I take a look at yours, but make sure you've used a ruler and or a straight edge, and make sure that you've measured it so that it's done correctly. For B, 170 degrees should look something like this. C, 190 degrees. It's especially important when it gets to be bigger than 180 degrees that you show with the arrow what angle measurement you mean, because otherwise, if we were talking about this angle, it would be 170 degrees. So we want to make it clear that we're talking about this angle. And then 270 degrees would look like this, 3/4 of a way around a circle. Then for 886, they want you to take a straight edge, which is like a ruler, draw a triangle on your paper, estimate the measures of the angles, and then add up your estimated angles. So what you should find is that your angle measurements for any triangle add up to 180. So if your estimates do not add up to that, you may need to adjust. For 887, they want you to find the length of the radius and diameter of these circles. Now for A, the radius is given. The diameter would be twice as long, so 6 centimeters. For B, they give you the diameter all the way across, so the radius would be 1.5 inches, half as big. And C, they give you the radius again, so the diameter is twice as much, 2 millimeters. For 888, Tino works at a retail clothing shop as a sales clerk, and part of his paycheck is based on commission, meaning it's determined by the value of the clothes that he sells. Each week, he earns $7 an hour, plus he gets 15% of his total sales. If he works for 18 hours and sells $538 in clothes in a certain week, what's the amount of his commission, which would be the 15%, and what's the total pay? So what you'd want to do first to find the commission is to take the 15% as a decimal and multiply it by his sales. And you can do that in either order. So percent as a decimal times sales will give you the amount of the commission. And then his total pay would be how much he makes per hour, which is $7, times the number of hours, plus that commission. So there's his total pay. For 889, you're going to write and solve this proportion. In a recent survey for the Student Council, Dominique found that 150 students out of a total of 800 students did not like soda. If half the student body was going to attend a dance, how many students would she expect to want soda? So what you'd want to do first is to say, all right, 800 minus 150 is 650. So 650 out of 800 did not like soda. And we want to know what would that be for how many that is out of half of the student body, or 400. I darkened these fraction lines since those were kind of hard to read. So 650 out of 800 is equal to how many out of 400? You can do cross products or you can reason it out. 325 students would not want soda. Then for 890, they want you to find the value of these variables. You're not using a protractor. Instead, you're using your properties of angles. So for example, for A, if this angle is 37 degrees, and we know this entire thing is 90, 37 minus 90 means that angle A must be 53 degrees. For B, we know this is 85, and we know this represents a straight angle of 180. 180 minus 85 gives you an angle measurement of 95. For C, these are vertical angles, and we know vertical angles are congruent. So if this angle is 47, That means angle C, which is vertical to that, is also 47. For D, this angle is 137. Again, we know the entire thing here is 180. 180 minus 137 gives us 43. For E, we know this angle is 15, and the whole thing is 90. 90 minus 15 gives us 75. For F, we have two parts here. We have, looks like I and F. I'm not sure if those letters are quite right. It's very shaded. But basically, angle F will be opposite 153, so that would equal 153 because they're vertical angles. And we know these two together make 180. So 180 minus 153 leaves us with 27. So angle F is 153 because it's vertical to 153. And angle I is 27 because 180 minus that 153 leaves us with 27. For G, again, this entire angle here would be a 180 minus 115 leaves us with 65. And this is also 180 total. Minus 95 means angle H is 85. You will be asked to do this type of thing on the quiz and test as well, where you're not using a protractor to find the missing angle measurements, you're using the properties of angles.